Every year during Beesmas, I see thousands of players make these huge mistakes that absolutely destroy their chances of doing well during Beesmas. So today I'm going to be giving you guys every single tip and trick on what you should do and what you shouldn't do this Beesmas. Starting off with tip number 1, your present order. Now, of course, when you complete Bear's quest, you get the gifts, and you can give these presents to certain NPCs to get rewards, aka ornaments on the tree. But a lot of players make the mistake of giving the gift to the wrong NPC. Now, I won't bore you guys to death with the entire thing, so for now I'll show you a quick little guide on screen. You can take a screenshot of this, send this to your friends, take a picture on your phone, whatever, but this is just a really handy guide that you can follow for your first few presents, just to ensure that depending on which hive color you are, you're giving your gifts to the right NPCs, to ensure that in the end you make the most honey. And for those of you who are wondering, well, what if I'm a mixed hive? Then who do I give a present to? At that point, it just doesn't really matter. Just make sure you give one to Robo Bear, make sure you give one to Spirit Bear and Stick Bug, and then after that it doesn't really matter. But while that tip might only save you a little bit of honey, this next tip could save you hundreds of gingerbread bears. Now, it's Mother Bear's gingerbread house, and I've actually made this mistake in the past. You guys might be wondering how you can even mess this up in the first place. Well, there's basically 2 tips in one. First of all, you should not be claiming Mother Bear's gingerbread house as often as possible. I don't want to go deep into all the math, but of course you get 1 gingerbread bear every 2 hours. So say you go ahead and check it and it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes. Well, that's 15 minutes of in-game time that you just wasted. What you should instead be doing is just letting this thing run all of Beesmas and then at the very end claiming it. So instead of wasting a bunch of little seconds and minutes every single time you collect the gingerbread house, just collect it all at once at the very end. Also, number 2 is, of course, make sure that as soon as you finish the quest and actually unlock it for the first time, you do have to check the gingerbread house 1 time. By completing Mother Bear's quest, it automatically stores 1 gingerbread bear in the house and it won't let you get any more until you claim it. So I made that mistake. I finished the quest basically and then I macroed for a few days straight, but I checked the gingerbread house and only got 1 bear, and that's just because of that glitch. So all in all, make sure as soon as you finish this quest, check the gingerbread house 1 time, and then after that, your goal is to check it as little times as possible. Now, of course, we all love saving gingerbread bears, but what about real life money? Yeah, this next tip involves the Robux shop. Now, of course, when Beesmas released on, it released 3 new packs. There's the Carpenter's Crafting Pack, the Starry Night Special, and the brand new item, a Choose a Mythic Egg. I'm not gonna bore you guys to death for 5 minutes yapping about what makes these things worth it and not worth it. In simple, which one do you buy and which ones do you avoid? Well, the Carpenter's Crafting Pack you absolutely need to buy. I genuinely believe that in all the history of Beeswarm's Robux packs, this might be one of the top 5 best packs that has ever released into the game. You know, no, I take it back. It's top 3. This thing literally gives 25 blue and red extracts, glues, purple potions, and gingerbread bears, along with 250 tickets and a gifted Carpenter bee egg, all for just 400 Robux, which is like, seriously guys, that is the best deal. So make sure you buy that. Something that isn't a good deal is the Starry Night Special. I would only actually buy this if you're planning on doing a heck ton of honey day boosting, and if you're like gonna be unlocking the mono gift box and stuff. But other than that, you have no use for 10 festive beans and all this other stuff. And then for the Choose a Mythic Egg, this one is very up to you. If you're an endgame player, don't bother buying this. This is useless to you. Personally, I might buy it just because it's collectible and you never know if we'll ever have a chance to buy one of these again. Most likely what's gonna happen is as soon as this leaves, On It might add it back into the Robux shop, but for a lot more Robux. So just buy it now while you still can. But yeah, you mainly just want to buy this if you're an early game player. It's literally cheaper than buying a mythic egg. And then just make sure you hatch something good like a precise bee. Oh yeah, and this isn't Beesmas related or anything, but at this point, make sure you never ever buy another voucher in your life, just because now that you can trade for them, there's no point in spending IRL money on these things literally just because you can go into the trading hub. Now that tip is going to be pretty hard to top, but this next tip is something that you actually need to start doing right now. It has to do with your snow bear. Now I say this tip every year, and you can take that as just like, oh man, you know, wasting time saying the same thing every single year, but I say it because of how important it is, and somehow everyone still messes this one up. I don't know how you guys always manage to forget this one, so please don't forget it this year. Essentially, there's strategy when it comes to defeating your snow bear. I'm sure most of you, as soon as you join the game, just think, oh yeah, I need to get my snow bear to as high of a level as possible, and then you go around server hopping asking people to help you with your snow bear. Don't do that. You don't want help from pros defeating your snow bear, and I'll tell you why. You want your snow bear at a level where you yourself can almost defeat it, because it allows you to farm snowflakes. See, when you summon your snow bear, sure, you get a lot of snowflakes at the very end when you defeat it, but you'll also notice that every single time you take out a quarter of its health, a little ring of snowflakes spawns around the snow bear, and this is what you want. Essentially, you want as many of these rings to spawn as possible possible without defeating your snow bear. And if you get too much help from pros, then your snow bear will be too high of a level for you to defeat on your own. Or my bad, for you to be able to defeat on your own. You're basically trading short-term snowflakes for long-term benefits. Sure, I got 305 snowflakes from snow bear just now, but what if I can't defeat a level 15 snow bear? Essentially, just find the level that's right for you. I would recommend stopping at about one level above your hive level. So if you're a level 8 hive, stop at a level 9 snow bear. If you're level 20 hive, stop at a level 21 snow bear. Make sure you're still summoning your snow bear often. Seriously, like, go into the game as often as you possibly can and summon it. But just make sure to almost defeat it and then quickly reset your character. So that way you can just grab the free rings of snowflakes and benefit from that. But while snow bear's pretty chill and you can do this all of Beesmas, this next tip might actually require a tiny bit of prep. But if you don't do it, it'll literally be one of the worst mistakes of your life. For those of you who don't know, a honey day code actually released before Beesmas, but the thing is, it's probably going to expire and you want to make sure that you use it. I'm of course talking about the 3BV code, which gives a literal honey day event and some other stuff. We're only getting 2 honey day events this Beesmas from that code and then from the Mondo gift box. So you have to make sure that you use this code very, very wisely if you haven't already. Make sure you're doing lots of prep. Make sure you're grabbing full nectars, you know, harvest those planters. And of course, like I stated earlier in the video, at least make sure that you have your ornaments turned in because they're just extremely crucial. And to be honest, even if you've already used the 3BV code, a good side tip is just that you should be boosting as often as possible this Beesmas. The Christmas season is the best time to make honey just because of all of the random buffs that you can get from the Beesmas tree. So if there's any time you should be spam boosting or just macroing in general, it's right now, which actually kind of perfectly segues into our next tip, which is macro. You know, of course, it wouldn't be a Beesmas video without macro. And don't worry, this is the only macro reliant thing in this guide. I would just highly recommend getting it because it can allow you to auto do your Riley Bees candles as often as possible, or auto do on its lid art or your honeysuckles at the semaphore. It essentially just allows you to get thousands upon thousands of free items. Like, thanks to macro, I have nearly 30,000 honeysuckles. But if you don't have macro, just make sure you're collecting your little Beesmas decorations as often as possible. Also, make sure that you're defeating your bosses as often as possible. Defeating your king beetle actually guarantees you a gingerbread bear. The same thing goes for your coconut crab and your tunnel bear. So if you're defeating these daily or bi-daily, it's going to allow you to get a lot more gingerbread bears, and you're going to be able to afford a lot more stuff in the catalog. Oh yeah, speaking of, really quick, there's actually a lot of really good items in this catalog, but a lot of scams as well. So quickly, in the right hand corner of this video right now, there's a little tag to that video. You don't have to watch it right now. Just quickly open that in a new tab and you can watch that later. I made that guide for a reason. It will definitely help you guys a lot. But after that is actually the Beesmas Feast. Now you might be really confused as like, what am I talking about? Beestorm guide, why is the Beesmas Feast a tip? Well, it's because of how overpowered it can be. You can dig into the Beesmas Feast once every 1.5 hours, and say I use it right now. I go and I grab all the stuff, and I got 32 bitterberries from that and 116 pineapples. Pretty cool, right? Well, there's 68 days in Beesmas left. Basically 69. Doing some quick math, we can know that there's about 1,600 hours left of Beesmas, meaning that if you just auto use your Beesmas Feast once every hour and a half, you'll get an extra 52,000 bitterberries. I'm not even kidding with you guys. You could get 52,000 free bitterberries this Beesmas just by going to Nero Macro and checking this box. Same thing when it comes to pineapples. You can get nearly 200,000 free pineapples just by doing this. So I highly recommend to spam polar bear quests and spam the Beesmas Feast. It just gives you a lot of free stuff. Now, the good thing about that tip is you can just do it instantly. You know, you get to keep using the Beesmas Feast and watch your numbers go up. This next tip requires a bit more patience though, but man, it will save you a lot. Essentially, with all the mega random stuff that's in the quest this year, of course, stickers had to be a little part of it, and some of the Beesmas quests do require a few stickers. But the main problem everyone has is that they try and get the stickers too fast. So essentially, just really quickly, if you're struggling right now getting the stickers for your Beesmas quest, don't worry about it. You literally have 70 more days of Beesmas to get those few stickers. It's not going to be the end of the world if you don't get them this week or next week. Just take your time, try not to overpay. As time goes on, the stickers will be more and more common, and there's a chance you can honestly just get them on your own without having to trade for them. But speaking of the Beesmas quests, you know, a lot of them are actually really tough this year, which is why this next tip might actually be the best tip in the entire video. Literally, this might be the thing that carries you through these quests. Some of the hard things about this quest is it just requires a lot of social stuff, or stuff that's very hard to do on your own. 1,000 slimes, that's hard to do on your own. Same with 200 party cog turrets and 10,000 tokens from honey storms. You can forget forget about trying to do that solo. It's not gonna happen. So what I recommend doing is getting a group together of Bee Swarm players, just a group of like close friends. They don't have to be close, but just find people online or on Discord specifically that are willing to help you out. Sure, you can summon one honey storm on your own and get a little bit of tokens for the quest, or you can get together with a group of 5 people and all 5 of you can summon your honey storms together and help each other out. Same thing goes for the robo party or help in the retro chat. A lot of this is very reliant on teamwork, and I think it's something that we all need to work on improving. So if you're struggling finding people to do this with or finding reliable people to help you on retro challenge, I'd actually recommend joining my Discord server. We're currently working on revamping it right now, and we're gonna make a looking for channel, which is essentially just a text channel that allows all you guys to get together to form little parties, you know, honey storm parties, robo parties, retro swarm parties. I think it'll really help you guys a lot, and it makes me really glad that I'm able to have a Discord server for this, because it allows me to help all of you guys out and give you guys a little bit of assistance on this year's Beesmas quest. So if that sounds interesting to you and you do want to meet some other people and get some help for your quest, just click the link in the description to join the Discord server. Hopefully we'll have it up by the end of this week. Before we end, I would just like to say one thing. This is kind of my Christmas break and my time off, and I'm spending a lot of it editing these videos for you guys, just to help you guys out and give you more guides this Beesmas, so that all of you guys can do well in the quest this year. So for all the time I'm dedicating to you guys, it really would just mean a lot this Christmas season if you could just subscribe. I don't normally beg for subscribers, but just this once, it really would mean a lot to me, as I've poured so much time into this channel over break, and I'm probably going to continue to make a ton of videos for you guys. But thank you everyone for watching my channel. I really hope these tips and tricks were able to help you out. Good luck on your Beesmas quest, everyone, this year. You guys are all gonna do great. I believe in you. Thank you so much for watching, Bee Swarmers. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video.